Are YieldMax funds gambling? Are YieldMax funds risky? Oh my gosh, let's talk about it. This is Mike, the Tactical Stock Scout. All right. I see this so often in different social media platforms that how YieldMax is gambling, how it's so risky. People have no idea what risk really is. Let's talk about it. All right. So what's the definition of gambling? Let's kind of start here. Gambling is, you put your money into something, hoping for a better return, knowing that there are some risks involved. Let me contemplate this for a moment, if you will. Well, contemplation tells me that doggone everything is freaking gambling. That's right. Is starting your own business gambling? Yeah. I guess so, by this definition. When I started my company 15 years ago, was it gambling? Was it risky? Well, heck yeah, it was extremely risky, right? I left the job, for the school district coaching to pursue the food business. That is so risky. That is just gambling at its essence. Did it work out? Well, yes, it worked out extremely well. So, with that being said, I perceive YieldMax and funds like it totally different than most people do. I do not see the risk or the gambling nature that people talk about with YieldMax funds. And let me break this down and tell you why. When my business, for instance, this weekend, I had a big tournament, really big tournament at a couple different locations, okay? There's a baseball tournament and a softball tournament. Guess what? They got rained out. I lost. Well, I didn't lose. I didn't make all that money I would have made had the tournament went forward. Now, if I have YieldMax funds, I'm still collecting dividends no matter what happens with the market, right? I do not see the level of risk that people talk about. Now, maybe because I'm an entrepreneur and have a few different things going on, maybe I'm just nuts, but I don't see the level of risk. When I don't make any money in my company due to rainouts or whatever, tournaments being canceled, I lose money on waste, on food products that we bought that maybe we have to throw away, right? I don't get that with YieldMax and other funds like it. I'm still collecting money. No matter how much it rains, no matter how much the markets or that individual stock goes down, I'm still collecting dividends. Now, I know people want me to say disbursements. I'm not saying it, slugs. I'm collecting dividends as the market or whatever is going down. Let's talk about Tesla. I don't own it any longer. Sold it for profits, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago, something like that. But look, let's talk about Tesla, because that's the dog everybody loves to kick, right? That's the one. That's the outlier that people just can't wait to bash. So let's talk about it for a second. As Tesla continues to go down, and let's say Tesla continues to go down and down and down, down to 100 or even lower, okay? What happens with Tesla? Well, the share price drops, obviously. But during that time, you are still collecting dividends. So after a certain amount of time, the dividends will compensate you for your initial investment. Now depending on how you play it, if you just keep pouring your own pocket money into it, the goalposts get wider and wider, and it's going to take longer to reach that. But unless Tesla goes out of business or YieldMax goes out of business, eventually, right? Eventually, your return on investment will come back to you. Is that risky to me? No. not at all. And the same for me goes with Defiance, FEPI. It doesn't matter, man. It's all the same. It's all about, for me, return on investment. Now, when you own your own business, there's no guarantee at all that you're going to get your return on investment. But doggone it, with YieldMax funds, unless they go out of business, or unless the underlying goes out of business, your return on investment will be handed back to you. Now, I don't care if you buy YieldMax or Defiance or anything. I don't care what you do with your money. That doesn't matter. All I'm doing is sharing what I feel and what's important to me. Everyone has a level of risk that they should be comfortable with, right? And that's kind of your premise. If you lose a certain amount of money or whatever, should you get out? Well, that's up to you, but you should have a level of risk that is defined so you can feel comfortable. Now, for me, what I've learned in running a company and growing a company exponentially is that without risk, honestly, without risk, there is no reward. That's just it, period. It's very hard to get any kind of substantial reward without gambling, so to speak, right? Without having some level of risk attached to it, right? That's just it. And so on the level of risk factor, starting your business way, way up here, YieldMax, Defiance, cover call funds, way, you can't even see it, it's so low. For me, way down here, right? The astronomical difference of risk for me is totally different. I am 90% sure, and the reason I say I'm not 100% sure, because anything can happen with like fund managers, or there can be some kind of crappy paperwork with Defiance. They could FEPI, whoever, SVOL, right? There could be something behind the scenes and they could get shut down. So you can't be 100% sure. But I'm 90% sure, which is far better than any business you start, that I am going to get my return on investment back to me, plus more. As I get my return on investment, I'm just going to let that bad boy bank, and I'm going to just keep collecting free money after free money after free money. And doesn't that burn your ears, right? Doesn't that make the naysayers mad that I'm going to be collecting free money? Mike, what about taxes? Are you serious? That's your argument to return on investment? You got to pay taxes? Bro, don't work, because you got to pay taxes on that. Don't do anything that's going to make you money, because you got to pay taxes on it. That's a given. But besides taxes, it's free money to me. Now, I don't care what you call me. I don't care what you do with your money. I don't care if you make a YouTube video, call me. I don't care what you do. It's your money. Live your life. Run your investments the way that you see fit. But for me, the level of risk and gambling for YieldMax versus me starting my own company, astronomically different. Not even close. Not even close. So for me, I'm going to keep piling money into cover call funds, collecting dividends, and hopefully we'll be retired soon and living off those dividends, traveling the country, enjoying my life, while everyone else is talking about how risky it is. Hope you enjoyed the content. This is Mike, Tactical Stock Scalper, out.